Hey, welcome to the weekly wrap up. Now we are live in Getting Started in Crypto on X, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Got them all. Woo.
Not quite.
Why? What did I miss?
We're live somewhere else, probably the most important one of all of them.
Which is what?
In Getting Started in Crypto.
I did that first.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewind in a bit and see. I can't remember.
That's like mean. You've been gone
Too busy
2 weeks.
concentrating on
He's
what
come
you
straight
did
in
say.
and he's mean to me.
No, not at all. I was just trying to cover all bases. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining, and welcome to the weekly wrap up. We have our big, lovely Phemex banner at the bottom. Lisa, did you want to just quickly talk about Phemex?
So you've probably seen this if you're on X and then you're on Instagram, that you can come into Getting Started in Crypto and get our scalps for free. So all you need to do is join up with our referral code and deposit $1,000 and trade on Phemex. And then you get free scalp signals. Now we do about 2 or 3 daily. Weekends have been a bit crappy lately, so forget weekends, but Monday to Friday, they've been really good. And so they are happening. Now, if you just want to trial us, you can get 5 free signals over the month for absolutely doing nothing. And you can trial our signals. And other than that, if you want to add on that's it. Phemex, go find that, load it up,
Phemex.com
put in lots and lots
/register.
of money. You can earn $4,800 USDT, depending on how big your deposit is.
Absolutely. So Phemex.com /register, and then there'll be a little area where it asks you to put in the referral code, and that one in blue at the bottom. Pop that in, deposit $1,000, and we should be ready to rock and roll with you. So very exciting and epic to have Phemex on board as well.
It is. So yeah, very exciting to have those as Phemex as our sponsor. So thank you.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so looking forward into the week and having had the weekend we just had, what's going on? What's happening in the world of crypto?
Let's jump into Bitcoin because we've had a little tiny bit of a bounce. It's like it's getting exciting. Are we excited? Let's have a look.
Okay, I saw your tweet just before we do about your stinky linkies, and I did wonder what that was at first, but it's your endearment term for the link holders out there.
It is.
Was that to do with the market? Is this like an XRP thing which tends to kick off the next pump, or what?
No, I was purely just bragging on that tweet. I was just showing everyone that where I've bought and sold on Binance. And I've just bought again on Link because I think we're bottoming. If not now, I'm going to be DCAing. I've got 5 DCAs on Link. So I've picked up, I think, 3 so far, which is nice. And I'm in some really nice profits. So so that's just basically me saying, hey, we're approaching the bottom on some of these alts, and it might be a nice time to start like loading up your bags again, because I think we're about to head into the next section of this market. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. Okay then, well, let's jump into Bitcoin and see what Bitcoin thinks.
Yes. So hopefully Bitcoin thinks the same. We're in a rising wedge. We have a strong resistance at 89. Now, if we get a tether print, we're going to smash through that 89. And I really believe before the MiCA rules kick in on the 1st of April, that we really need to show the market where this is heading. So I do think we're seeing sort of that 100K, 97 to 100K mark. Ideally, we want to bust through that 97,746. That's our next upper pivot. once we hit that 90,000 mark. Once we hit the 90,000 mark and we're sort of sitting above this region, then we're going to be sitting really pretty, and then we'll be heading up higher. So Bitcoin at the moment is in such a choppy, messy pattern, and yeah, so we're probably going into a WXYZ, which is a bit of a sideways pattern, which means we're probably sitting here for a little bit longer, but coming into April, we should start to move. I'm going to push this up to a 4-hour and just show what's happening. So we've got, this is a hard resistance around this region. So we've got 1, 2, 3. This will be our 4th touch. We want to break through this. So for everyone that watches me and listens to like how I explain things, the 4th touch is really important. That is a make or break moment. So if we don't break through on this 4th touch, we're breaking down. So that point here is 89,500 to 89 sort of 600, could just wick through, because the major pivot in this region is at 90,560. So no break above that 90,560, we're more than likely got one wave to go. But this is quite a specific pattern. Now, they don't always break down. They don't always, come back to where they started. So this rising wedge pattern occasionally continues up because we've got the 5 waves here. We've had a minor correction, and then we might get the continuation up. So what that would look like would be our 5 waves coming up, hopefully smashing through that region, heading to that 100K, coming back down, and then a continuation. And that would be the start of our new impulse. And that's ideally what we want to see here for BTC. If we move this up, that's what we've got. Occasionally, what we do with this pattern is we will, I'm just going to draw this on. So if we reject in this spot here, we've got one more test, and then we're going down. Now, that would be a retest of this low first at 75, 76 mark. If that holds, then this is a valid pattern as well, and we continue to head higher. So there are 2 sort of possibilities for BTC at the moment. I'm leaning towards this 100K one. Reason being is there's a whole heap of futures. Now, futures used to drive the market. And because there hasn't been a lot of liquidity at the moment, futures are going to drive the market again. So they have billions of dollars of futures releasing at the end of this month. So they could be longs or shorts. I would say that they're shorts, and they're going to be releasing long. So that's basically how that works. And if that's the case, then we're heading up to that 102K mark. And there's a whole heap of whales, and this is how whale games work, that are sitting liquidity at 94K, where there's a major $4 billion whale that could be liquidated at that point. So if that gets liquidated at that point, that's a massive injection back into the market, and is going to take BTC up to 102K. So think of what happened when they were chasing down Luna, and, they were absolutely wanting to liquidate them because that was such an unstable sort of way they were trading. And it just made sense for, big companies like BlackRock to come in and go, no, we don't need another stable coin. We've got too much money tied up in USDC. We're going to take over the market with USDC. So that's another reason as well that we're seeing this push out of USDT. So it's all fun and games at these institutional levels. So USDT are quickly scurrying to, get all dot their I's and cross their T's And that's happening at the moment. So I don't think there's anything to stress about with USDT. Might be just, removed from a couple of exchanges, put back to a couple of exchanges. And, it might get announced a day before that they're all in control. So this is our potentials on BTC. When we have a look, I'm going to go up to the BLX. So when we have a look at the BLX, this is a quantitative chart. We've got a hard resistance at about 95K, which is from this point here, which was the 2021 all-time high. And we come back and we've broken down below that. We have not retested that region yet. So that's a really strong point. So when we go back to this chart and we're looking at that 95, we're sort of sitting in this region here. So we could be going up here, coming down here, and then heading up there. So that would be our region that we're retesting. Now that might sort of just fill in a little bit before it breaks up as well. So that's the alternate pattern here. So we head up here, we sit underneath that resistance for maybe a week or two while we consolidate, and then we push through. So that's the other option. But I really think if this whale is not shored up their sort of, their shorts at the moment and they're about to get liquidated, that's going to push us through. So that's what we want to see. I'm sorry, big whale with lots of money, you might get liquidated, and that's going to be good for us sitting here at this level.
I'm sure they took that into account before making the trade, especially with that amount of money. I'm sure it's probably a member of GSIC who is responsibly trading with only 5% of their funds available. So yeah, we will see what happens there. Where are we off to next in terms
I'm just going to check Bitcoin dominance, which is still very much in pattern, still very much sideways. This is the pattern that we're watching, and we want to see it hit about 63, 64, then pull back at that region, and then alts are going to take off. So we're getting a initial bounce on alts at the moment. And our total crypto market cap is coming up to a resistance as well, sitting at about 2.86 trillion. There's a strong resistance there. So similar pattern to BTC, might pull back in this region, might pull back violently. We don't want that to happen. We'll likely just pull back to about 2.73 and then a continuation up. So we want to see more sort of liquidity coming into the market. When we start to see those tether prints and the USDC prints are smaller because there's not as much demand for that at the moment. It is increasing, just with tether sort of having to pull back from certain regions. But we saw that the other day. We saw a really nice bounce across the market when we got $1 billion print on tether. So that's essentially what we want to see. Ethereum, ugliest chart ever, still ugly. Every week I say this, ugly, ugly, ugly. Likely going to see a bounce for an X or a B wave. So they go to about the same region. Now the X wave may hold back at about 3,000, 3,100 and then continue lower. A B wave could possibly go up to about 3,900, 4,000-ish. Because it can go above that wave. So we just need to wait and see, but we do look like we've bottomed out in a lot of these regions and we're starting to see some bounces. So starting to look better, starting to look nicer, starting to look like we're getting some momentum happening. Coming into the end of the month, it looks like Groundhog Year is about to end and head back into the bull run.
That's good. It would be good to change the sentiment as well. I think a lot of people are wishing on a pump and looking forward to greener markets, as it were. So
I just want to also address, before we jump back, so can we go back to the quantitative chart? that this one's on TradingView for anyone that wants to have a look. So I've read so many posts on different platforms saying that we've missed the bull run in this cycle. And I just want to address that. Bitcoin, since we bottomed with the FTX crash, has done 600%. So if that's not a bull run, I don't know what is. Like, that's the start of a bull run. And it only gets better from here. Like, obviously, it hasn't done the higher we get with Bitcoin, the less percentages we're going to get along the way. But that's still like massively huge. So if we go back down and we have a look, like we did 1,000, almost 1,400 on the previous run. So if we're looking at that, potential, and we're going, okay, so where's Bitcoin going? Even if we go up to, say, these regions marked on my charts, like 1,100%, and we're at 190. So even if we sort of hit the 150,000 mark, we're at like 900%, which is massive. When you're looking at gold, you're looking at silver, you're looking at uranium, they move like 1%. 1%. You're lucky if you get like 4%. Gold's had a really good run of late, and I think it's done maybe 10% all up. So yeah, just zoom out a little bit and go, well, hang on a sec, this bull run's still happening, and it's very, very much in progress. So yeah, and we've got a lot of bull run to go.
Excellent. That's the news I think a lot of people would like to hear and believe in, that there is a lot more left of this market. And as you were saying at the start, the scalps particularly have been doing well and getting started in crypto, hitting their targets, just capturing those small profits as it goes sideways.
Yeah, and it's really important, to sort of adjust how you're trading as the market adjusts as well. So when we go into these massive sort of bullish momentum, let your trades run. Don't sort of restrict them. Just keep moving your stop loss up. If your stop loss gets hit, if it pulls back, move to the next trade. Diversify. Have maybe 5 to 10 trades going at once. And that way you're not sort of getting FOMO with the entire market moving. You've always got something moving. When the market's in this uncertain sort of period and we're sort of shifting momentum, that's when you want to start DCAing, like I was saying with Link. But, when we go into the complete sideways chop, that's when you want to start sort of pulling back and reassessing strategies and going, okay, I'm just going to scalp a little bit here, continue to make some profits. And then once the market's better, then we'll start heading into those DCAs and everything like we're doing now. So yeah, it's just about knowing the strategy, adjusting the strategy, and moving forward.
Okay, cool. Did you want to look on that note at any other alternatives coins?
We had a request from Getting Started in Crypto from Sadie, and I'm going to slap him around.
Oh, no, not Sadie. He's one of our loyal supporters. Absolutely not. I'm not letting that happen.
For some reason, you guys love these absolute shit coins, and while this potentially looks like it's bottoming, who knows where the bottom is on some of these things. If we're looking at fib levels, we've kind of hit around the 95, 96, which is like a massive, massive retrace. So this is and we can see at the moment, this is probably almost hit the bottom. It hasn't turned up yet on the daily, but on the RSI, we're seeing support. It's sort of hovering on the EMA here. So whether that sort of shows more momentum happening and more liquidity coming in, The MACD has also flipped on the histogram. So, and it's looking like there's more buy pressure in this region. Now, if you're looking at this for where it could go, the 100 MA has just popped its head in there, and that's sitting at about 83. So potentially from here, there's not a lot of resistance up until that region. So that's kind of 130% if you're willing to gamble. This is a gamble. This is not trading. This is gambling, because there's no confirmed pattern here. It's just literally this has dropped. It's then corrected, and it's sort of sitting sideways, showing some minus signs that it might move. So nothing confirmed. So to me, this is like just throwing money at that you like okay with losing, because there's a high potential there's no pattern here. So if we drop this back to the daily, we can see that to the hourly, sorry, we're pretty much like flat, like for quite, we don't want that down here. So fighting with the MAs, 100 and 200, it's still crossed down, although it is touching those regions, potentially could be changing momentum. If we go down to the 45, we'll see how far that is. Still hasn't changed momentum on the 45. 30 minutes, just crossed on the 30 minutes. So this, at most in this region, is a scalp. It's not something that's really sort of changing. The pivot's at about 14%. That's the safest you're going to get, 14%. So not something I would be touching. Sorry, Sadie.
Okay, well, there we go. And do you have anything else lined up? I think everyone else is happy looking at emails and messages.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty much sideways. Just where the only one that like I'm really liking at the moment was Link, and I'm DCAing back into that. There is a signal in getting started in crypto. But a lot of the charts are still sort of in that sideways, sort of playing out patterns, waiting for Bitcoin. So we need that decision on those pivot points on Bitcoin, and especially that fourth touch of that resistance. So if that doesn't break through at that point, it's going to come back down for one last wave before we actually take off for this next run. So.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, all eyes on Bitcoin then. Let's see what happens as we go into the week. Any other notes you wanted to make before we wrap up the wrap up?
No, just make sure if you want these free signals that you do sign up to Phemex. Have a look through my Instagram and through my X account. You'll find the Phemex link for GSIC, and make sure you sign up there, put all your information in, and you will get monthly signals for nothing, because you've put your money, you've deposited onto Phemex, and Phemex are approving all of those, and essentially you can trade for free. So
long as you keep trading and showing the volume going up and down, it's probably the best offer that we've ever put on in terms of special offers out for our customers. It is essentially getting our signals for free if you use Phemex to trade. So it can save you a lot of money, and hopefully make you a lot of money too. So
yeah, so if you're sorry, Josh.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, so if you're a GSIC member and you're not trading on Phemex, it's $49. If you're a non-member, it's $69. But this is why that is so good, because if you deposit $1,000 and trade on Phemex, it's free. You save that monthly amount, like $49 if you're a GSIC member, $69 if you're a non-member.
Fantastic. Okay then. Thanks again to Phemex for sponsoring this for us and supporting us as we are supporting them. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that next week Bitcoin will be at least $10,000 higher than it is today.
Yeah, we want to see a $10,000 like liquidation of a whale, literally.
Okay. Well,
That's my dream for next week. It's like if I can, I'm going to take this year like step by step, and my next wish for Bitcoin is a $10,000 candle that liquidates a giant whale.
That would change a lot of things, probably bring a lot of retail into the market as well. So eyes on Bitcoin. Thank you everyone for joining us again. Have a great week ahead, and we will catch you very soon.